We have hit another all-time low. I sat up here and told you it was going to get worse before it got better. I told you it was going to be a sticky situation. I even said it was going to be the Ben Simmons situation part 2. I was wrong, though. I was wrong. This is worse.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Like always, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the show, ring the bell, all that good stuff. We need to jump into it, man. What a day it has been. What a day it has been. James Harden hates Daryl Morey's guts. The Sixers are absolutely stuck, and we have got here to this point where there may be no solution. I'm serious. We were on the live stream yesterday. We're going through some of the options. What do they do next? James, it's now your move in this big game of chess. He took no time. He took no time to wait. He fired back, and now the ball's in the Sixers' court, and I don't know what's going to happen next. I want to talk today about how this happened, about what I realistically think is going to happen next, and really a message for the Sixer Nation and the Sixers organization. So if you want to hear that, stay tuned and stick around. But holy crap, man, here we are. And it is blown up once again in the Sixers' face. Here we are. This is worse than the Ben Simmons situation. In 2019, they had a plan. They went bully ball. They had a plan. 2021, they could afford to hold out because they had 3 years left on a deal. Both parties are stuck in the mud here. And how the hell did we get back to this yet again? We will jump right into it. I have a question for the people down below in the comment section. I know a lot of people have an opinion on this topic. Who do you think is most at fault for this crappy situation? Is it James Harden, or is it the Sixers front office and Daryl Morey, or is it both equally? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Before we jump right into it, shout out to our partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. Shout out to the partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. If you out there are similar to everyone else in the world who has thought to themselves at one point, why is my wireless bill so high? Then Mint Mobile is for you. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 per month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network and keep costs low because they sell directly to you online, cutting out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? You can go and use that money to treat yourself to a Sixers game or even buy a new jersey. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. They even offer super affordable family plans with as little as 2 lines. And switching to Mint is super easy thanks to their digital eSIM cards. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will actually ship you a new SIM card free of charge. The whole process will only take about 15 minutes. And if you get stuck, Mint has a great customer service team to help you through it. So if you are interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, go to mintmobile.com/PhillyTake. You can go right down to the description of this video and click the link, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. All right, man, let's jump right into it. Who is most at fault for this? I put it up on YouTube community. 51% say both are equally at fault. 27% say James Harden. 22% say Daryl Morey and the front office. Let me just show you something real quick, because right now the Sixers are the laughingstock of the NBA. We are hitting new points of organizational dysfunction and malpractice. I cannot believe we're actually going through this again. And I said this was going to happen. We're going to have, an awkward situation. I've never heard a player literally blow up on a GM, on his freaking best friend, the guy who has supported him through 3 different teams, right? Wanted him when he was with the Nets, supported him all the years in Houston, got him what he wanted, always wanted to trade for him, got him again. You see them coming off the plane when he trades for him here in Philadelphia, and now their entire existence of friendship has burned to the ground. It's crazy. Shout out to Derek Bodner. Look at the Sixers off seasons, man. This is what Sixer fans are being put through. Traded a 21-year-old all-star to tank. Drafted 2 players who couldn't play. Drafted a 3rd straight center. Mikal Bridges, Jimmy Butler, Brett Brown, the GM tampering and getting Daniel House last year. Putting burner accounts on the internet, Colangelo and making fun of Joel. It's crazy what this organization has been through, and it's frustrating, man. Sixer fans have every right to be out there fumed right now. because there is no solution, and it feels like you're inevitably going to have to go backwards. It's just crazy what this team has been through for the last 8 to 10 years. Literally the whole process trying to get all these assets and stack it up, and you can't even get past the second round, and you can never make anybody happy, and here we are again. Absolutely unbelievable. But let's take to the video clip from today. Let's talk about what happened, because I wake up and, a couple days ago on a Saturday evening, Woj just putting out these bombs about the Sixers bringing Harden back. And on a freaking Monday morning at 6 a.m., we get this video clip from James Harden.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
That was intentional. James Harden's still on his victory tour in China. I mean, he's just a celebrity there, I guess. And we've been seeing all these video clips from him. He did this on purpose. He said it twice. He said, listen up. Let me say it again. I am never going to be in an organization with Daryl Morey again. Essentially, I'm never coming back to the Sixers as long as he's there. The bridges have burned. It's just crazy. Like I said, these two have been together. They've always been tied together. Daryl Morey is the biggest fan of James Harden. And it has gotten to this point. What the hell is going on behind the scenes, man? I mean, we can continue to try to piece it together, but I have some ideas. Now, I do want to say this because, again, a lot of discussion around this topic. Let me first off say this, right? I still believe that James Harden opted into his $35.6 million player option because there was no value out there. If James Harden had received, say, a deal from the Rockets, who had $60+ million in cap space for $40 million a year, he would have been going like a rocket, and no pun intended there. Seriously, he would have been out of here. If another team offered him, he would have gone there. As I've continued to say, he doesn't have the value right now. One, because of the injury risk. He got hurt at the end of the season. It hindered him a little bit. And number two, because he hasn't showed up big time in the playoffs. They can keep saying about these 40-point games. I was there for game 3. The guy played like a close, similar to Ben Simmons. He played just like Ben in game 3. He didn't show up in game 6. And did the Sixers ultimately fail because of James only? No, absolutely not. They failed because everybody on the team didn't step up. But James was, as much of a part of that as everybody else. He didn't show up when it mattered most. That has been, one of the main narratives painted about his career. And it just sucks. It sucks. And if they get to the conference finals, maybe we're having a completely different convo. If they ever get to the conference finals in the last 8 years, maybe we're having a different conversation. I've been supportive of James. He had a fantastic regular season. I really believe the duo of him and Embiid could make it work. But you know what? At this point, this is now the third team in 3 years. He wants out. I just can't support that. He quit again. It wasn't only his fault. I think both parties are at fault. But James, I think, acted out of emotion in this one. And the other quick thing I want to say, we'll get back to that point, but the whole Daryl Morey promised him this behind the back. Let's stop it, okay? I mean, these people out there telling you that sound ridiculous. If you tell me, oh, you owe me $1,000, and then you come back to me next year and, you say, where's my $1,000? I'm going to say, what are you talking about? Do you have it in writing? Did you write that down? Did we sign something? What are you talking about? All these behind the back promises sound absolutely ridiculous, okay? James Harden willingly took a pay cut last year. There were no other free agents. James was the one that had to re-sign. He chose to take a pay cut to help the team. Now, again, the pieces that you brought here with that money did not do that well. PJ Tucker, Daniel House. In fact, you tampered for these guys. They all used to be Rockets. That's how I know James Harden was in the conversations with Daryl Morey. Of course, Daryl told him, we're going to go out and get Daniel House, PJ Tucker. They tampered. They got in trouble for it. James Harden knew what he was doing. He did a fantastic thing. I commend him on it. He took the pay cut. He did not have to do that. He did. So if Daryl Morey said, oh, well, we'll reward you next season, fine. But business is business. James, you made a mistake in that category. The Sixers didn't get any further with you than they did without. So no, they're not just going to blindly give you a max. And the first time Daryl Morey tells you no, you start crying because you don't have your way. It's sickening. It is. However, Daryl Morey has also made a couple huge mistakes this offseason and in this situation. Now, Daryl Morey, apparently, according to some reports, I don't completely trust it 100%, but Morey is apparently, quote, unmoved by Harden's comments, and he is holding firm in his stance that he will not trade him unless it makes the Sixers better. Morey told us that to our face. He said, unless I get a star in return or this team gets incrementally better, they are not going to make a move, which, again, you're stuck at this point. And the two big mistakes with Daryl, number one, you haven't traded Tobias Harris. So he is still on this team, and people say, oh, well, Nick Nurse can make Tobias better, more productive, whatever. Sure, maybe he can. But like I said yesterday, he is not going to get this team over the top. He's, overpaid. We know that. He's going into the last year of a deal. Remember everyone talking about the CBA? Everybody values these expiring deals. Well, trade them then and get some of the marginal pieces. You can't ask for a king's ransom for Tobias Harris. No deals out there like that exist, but you got to get some better complementary pieces. Even if James Harden went through with this and it didn't work out, you still could have made the team better. Daryl Morey has not. And that leads me to my second point. You're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's very annoying. Are the Sixers going in to win this year, or are they building for 2024? Everybody like Daryl Morey keeps preaching 2024 and the cap space and this and the future flexibility. But at the same time, you keep Joel Embiid. You bring in Nick Nurse. You say that all this team needs is a better voice to get over the top. But then you go out, you let free agents walk. You sign you let McDaniels walk. You sign Pat Bev. You sign Mo Bamba. You sign Montrez. What is the damn plan? The plan has literally been 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The direction makes absolutely no sense. And now you're stuck because you didn't trade Tobias. You didn't get better at all. And now Harden is doing this too late. And now you have no way to get better. And you're not going to get any value for Harden because he just plummeted all of the value that was left. And, apparently, according to reports, right, there was, I guess, something behind the scenes. We don't know the exact truth, which is annoying. But now Morey and Harden are at a point where they're not even talking. So Morey has failed to make the roster better. And now you are stuck because you waited on other deals. And that's where I'm at, in my opinion, with that. You even had some reactions, right? Kyrie Irving, of all people. Why is Kyrie Irving commenting on this, saying, oh, is he holding Daryl Morey accountable for his dishonesty and lack of transparency? The last person who should be talking about that is Kyrie Irving. But anyway, you got Trae Young saying business is business. So now this is having a league-wide effect. And one more thing. Like I said, James Harden acted out of emotion. Why? Because like I said yesterday, the Sixers have the control here. Believe it or not, they still have some control because if James Harden, who says he's never coming back to the Sixers, does not come back due to this clause in the CBA, given the fact he's going into his last year of his deal, the Sixers can literally block him from doing anything. Any player that holds out or withholds playing services for more than 30 days after the start of last season covered by his contract could be deemed to have violated his contract and prohibited from entering free agency or signing with any other professional team unless and until the team with which the player last played expressly agrees otherwise. So James acted out of emotion. His agent reportedly told him not to, but he did. And that's how bad this has gotten. So not only did you screw yourself up, but now the Sixers have no leverage. They have no leverage in any trade talks. No other team will see this situation and say, one, we're willing to give up assets for a guy who might leave our team like he's done the last 3 years. And two, a guy that only insists he wants to be in LA will not come to our team and play to his fullest capability. And number two, the more grand scale effect here in the future is that James may have just messed up other free agents who want to come to Philly. So we keep talking about, there's going to be 70 plus million in cap space next year. There's going to be all this room, right? Well, guess what? Now free agents hear this and they think Daryl Morey didn't do business the right way. Why are they going to want to come to Philadelphia? So now Harden may have just messed that up as well for the Sixers. So I would not be surprised if Morey gets petty here again and just holds his ground and says, okay, James, well, we're going to build for 2024. We're not letting you go anywhere. You and Tobias's contracts will expire, and then we're just going to do it that way. This has been a huge game of chess. And look, man, here's how I feel ultimately, right? If James Harden did indeed opt into his player option just to get the value because there was no other deal out there, and that was the full telltale, and James Harden sat there and then wanted to be traded after that with no prior discussion, then I think Harden is in the wrong here for just trying to force his way to one team. But if Daryl Morey said to him exactly, again, we don't know, if he went to his camp and said, here's the deal we're going to have in place, here's how we're going to get it done and send you here, and then went back on his conversation after Harden opted in and said, no, we're not trading you anymore, then that is more fault with Daryl Morey for me. All in all, this situation is absolutely terrible. The Sixers are once again going through this, and you have an MVP coming off literally an MVP year in the middle of his prime, and he once again has to deal with another disgruntled superstar. I can't take it. It's frustrating. I wouldn't be surprised if Embiid asks out at this point, oh, you didn't extend Maxey this summer. What if next summer he says, I don't want to be a part of this toxicity, and he leaves on his own accord? Everything has been absolutely messed up. Harden is going to be gone. Morey should be on the hot seat at this point. Everybody's got to look in the mirror because this is terrible. And the last thing I'll say here to end it off is I am just tired of this drama. I love covering this team. It's amazing. But at the end of the day, I want players here who want to play with Philadelphia that represent the brotherly love, the tough mindset. Maybe that's building from within and finally admitting that this team has missed on draft picks for 10 years and just going all in, getting draft picks, building the right way, getting guys who can play up tempo, be competitive, not get hurt every 3 games, just fight for this city, that want to be here. I'm tired of the divas and the drama. All right. So honestly, that's my message to the Sixers. However you can do that and make that happen, get players that represent Philly and want to be here, because now we're going to go into training camp with another situation that's going to be toxic. Woj just reported that Harden will do everything in his power to make it as uncomfortable as possible for Joel, the Sixers, etc. It's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse. Will the NBA step in? I don't know. But this is very ugly. This is worse. This is the worst situation and the worst outcome possible as of right now. So we'll see what happens in this big game of chess. But give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. How do you feel about this situation? Who is to blame? Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.